Hello students, welcome back. Hope you all are doing good. Now, this is the second part of our chapter in the kingdom of fools from the book Moment. In the first part, we have seen where the kingdom was ruled by a king who ordered his people to work in the night hours and to sleep in the daytime, including even the cattle were trained in such a way that they are supposed to sleep in the daytime and to be awake in the night hours. And one incident was shared where the burglar enters to the rich merchant's house and he did the robbery, but while after returning from that room, the wall of that building collapsed on him and he dies. So his brother claimed that he should get the compensation as well as the punishment to the rich merchant, as due to that only his brother died. So the king called up for the rich merchant, where the rich merchant gives the clarification that he is not responsible. The person who is responsible for this is the bricklayer or the mason who have built up this wall. And now the mason, the bricklayer, was called up by the king. Now the king arrives, the mason arrives, and the king is now giving the order for executing the execution order, as he is saying that the poor man, that is the mason, the bricklayer, is the only one who had murdered or killed the burglar. He is only responsible, so we have to punish you by death. This was the order given by the king. Till here we have seen. Now the second portion, the second part of this chapter is like this. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, "Please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was not good, but that was not because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives." Now what he is saying, that I am not responsible for this, as you are correct, the building, the wall which have been built up by me was not in a good condition, but it was not me who is responsible, it was that dancing girl. The dancing girl who was dancing on the street, going up and down, and while going up and down, she was making the jingling sound with her anklets, and due to that I got distracted. So the dancing girl is responsible for this, to build up this wall bad. Now what the king's decision? King is saying that you are right, as the bricklayer said. Now he is agreeing, yes, you are right, that the dancing girl is responsible. So better now, this case is getting complicated, so let's get that dancer wherever she is, as she is solely responsible for this, as the case is complicated, so we need not judge in that way. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Did you walk up down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. So did you walk up and down with your anklets jingling? You were young and you distracted him, so he built a bad wall. Now the king called the young lady. Now the young woman came, and the king is asking that, did you walk up and down that street many years ago? Do you remember that you walked upon that street many years ago, and while walking you were making the sound of your anklets, the jingling sound of your anklets, and due to that this poor fellow had built a bad wall. So what is saying, due to that jingling sound, the young man, that is the old man, distracted, he got distracted. You were who have distracted him. Do you remember? It has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now, what the king is saying that as you have distracted the mind of this bricklayer and that wall have been fallen, so now you are supposed to be punished. Now she thought for a minute and said, My lord, wait, I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. For what reason she was walking up and down? That she had given the gold to the goldsmith for making some jewelry. And he was lazy scoundrel, the lazy fellow. So he made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then. And so all day he made me walk up and down to his house a dozen of times. A number of times I walked to his house up and down. So it is not me, it is that goldsmith who made me go up and down. So I am not responsible for this. I was running to take the jewelry and that lazy scoundrel, he was giving me the excuses that he will give me now, he will give me later on. So for that time, that is the reason I ran. I used to go up and down in the streets to collect my jewelry. That was when this bricklayer saw me. It's not my fault. At that time when I was going up and down, and during that time this bricklayer saw me. So my lord, it's that damned goldsmith's fault. Now whom she is blaming? She is blaming that goldsmith. It is the goldsmith's fault. Poor thing. She is absolutely right, thought the king. Weighing the evidence, we have got the real culprit at last. Now what the king is saying? That this girl is right. Now after checking all the evidences, all the proofs which are going for the goldsmith, which shows that the goldsmith is the real culprit. Wherever he is hiding, at once go and bring him. Now the king ordered that the real culprit, finally we found our real culprit, and the real culprit is goldsmith. So better go and get it at once. The king's bailiff searched for the goldsmith who was hiding in a corner of his shop. When he heard the accusation against him, he had his own story to tell. Now what happened? Now the king's messengers, they were looking here and there for the goldsmith, and the goldsmith was hiding in the corner. And even now the goldsmith is having his own story to tell. Now what was his story he is going to tell? That he is not responsible for this, as they were looking for the goldsmith and he was aware that he is supposed to go and get into the palace. My lord, he said, I am a poor goldsmith. It's true, I made this dancer come many times to my door. I gave her excuses because I couldn't finish making her jewelry before I finished the rich merchant's order. They had a wedding coming and they wouldn't wait. You know how impatient rich men are. Now what story he have made? That my lord, it is not my fault. I am a very poor innocent goldsmith. Now he is showing himself, I am innocent. It's true that I made her come number of times to my door. Her means here the dancer. I called dancer number of times, but the reason was that I couldn't finish her jewelry on time. What is the reason why I couldn't finish? Because it was the merchant's order. And as the weddings were coming, and you know how impatient merchants are. Impatient means that the merchants can't wait for anyone. They are very much impatient and I am supposed to finish their order. That is the reason I couldn't finish her work, and I make her to come number of times to my place. Now the king is asking, who is this rich merchant who kept you from finishing this poor woman's jewelry, made her walk up and down, which distracted this bricklayer, which made a mesh of his wall, and which has now made a complicated story? Now the king is asking, who is that rich merchant? That due to that rich merchant only the bricklayer couldn't finish, and due to that the bricklayer, the poor dancing girl needs to come number of times at your place to collect her gold jewelry. And as the bricklayer which have not made the proper building, due to that a innocent man killed that wall which was not properly built by the bricklayer. Can you name him? Now the king is asking, who is that merchant? And due to that merchant, you couldn't give the gold jewelry to that lady, and that lady who was coming up and down distracted the bricklayer's mind, and the bricklayer couldn't made a proper wall, and due to that wall collapsed on that fellow and he died. So can you name him? The goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of that house, whose wall was fallen. Now the merchant was only the one whose wall was fallen. He was the only one, that impatient merchant. The name was called up by the goldsmith. Now justice has come full circle, thought the king back to the merchant when he was rudely summoned back to the court. Now again the rude summon was given, the call was given that the merchant should be present again in the palace, as he is the only one. He arrived crying, "It wasn't me, but my father who ordered the jewelry. He's dead, I'm innocent." Now what he started again blaming the stories that it's not me, it was my father who have ordered the jewelry. But the king consulted his minister and ruled decisively. "It's true, your father is the true murderer. He's dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the roots of this horrible crime, and you must die." Now, as he consulted his minister, the king consulted his minister that the crime have been done, so somebody should be punished and somebody should be died. So as you have taken, it's true that your father is a murderer, but you have inherited everything from your father. You have inherited the riches, means the wealth, the money you have received. Along with that, you are supposed to get the sins, whatever the pap or the wrong deeds which have been done by your father. Now you are also responsible for that, as you have taken the responsibility of the wealth, the materialistic things. Along with that, you are supposed to take the responsibility of the wrong deeds which have been done by your father. At once now he is saying that after seeing you, I realized that you are the only one who must die. And he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. As the servant sharpened the stake and got it ready for the final impulging of the criminal, the final death, impulging to hang the person, the murderer, or the person who have done something wrong, the criminal. It occurred to the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin and to properly execute it on the stake. Now previously the stake was built up for someone else. So now another stake was made where the rich merchant was supposed to be hanged, as the rich merchant was quite thin. So that whichever the stake was made, it was not properly fitted. So another stake, the sharp rope which have been made where he is supposed to be hanged. So the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be executed on the stake. He appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. Now he is appealing, he is pleading, he is requesting to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. The king is also worried that how this thing happened. "What shall we do?" he said, when suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. Okay, as the stake which was built up and the neck of the rich merchant was very thin, so it was not at all fitting in that stake, right? And now they started looking for a fat man. They need a fat man who can easily fit in this stake. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for the man who fit the stake. Now for whom they are looking? They were looking for a fat man who can easily fit in that stake. And their eyes fell on the disciple. You remember that in the starting of the chapter, the first portion where the Guru and the disciple enters in that city, and after seeing that where everything was getting in a single pen, in a single duddu. So the disciple was quite happy, and the Guru gave him the suggestion that please don't stay here, don't be here, as it is the kingdom of fools. But the disciple was the food lover, so he stayed there only. And now after, as the disciple was a food lover, so obviously as he used to get everything in a one duddu, one penny, so now disciple had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice, wheat and ghee. Now got it, that the disciple was the only one who got fattened, who was now plumpy and chubby and properly fits in that state. So now disciple will be the one who will get fit in that steak.